And so, was it a pain in the cookbook to count calories? Yup, it was. It's not fun. You have to do a lot of work. Think of it, tracking every single thing you eat, it's not easy. But is losing weight easy? Coach Greg, in today's video, I counted every calorie I ate for 30 days. That's right, we're going to be going over Matt D'Avella, who literally counted every calorie, every macro that he ate for 30 days. Everything meticulously tracked, and we're gonna go over what he learned. And trust me, if you were to try this to do this, it could change your life. So many people are ignorant to the calories in the foods they're eating, and if they only knew, if you only knew, knowledge is power. Some people are going to say, oh, but if you track calories, it could lead to disordered eating. You're too obsessed with the calories. It can ruin you, so don't do it. That is analogous to saying, hey, don't do cardio, because some people get addicted to doing cardio. And then they can't stop, and they become cardio addicts, and they're addicted to exercise. Or don't ever drink alcohol, never one beer, because some people become alcoholics. You should never do anything, because what if this happens? Yeah, it can happen. But listen, I do believe that there's more benefit to being proactive with your health, counting calories, figuring things out, learning, than it is to just pretend it's not there. I mean, think of it. If we refuse to learn anything, then we just pretend nothing exists. What are we going to do? Sam writes, it's important to note that calorie counting is not for everyone. For some people, this can develop into disordered eating patterns and unhealthy obsession. 7,600 likes. Yeah, we get it. It can. But guess what the alternative is? Third of the people, obese. People often morbidly obese. This is endangering and shortening lives. People getting heart attacks, high blood pressure, diabetes, and so on. And so to just pretend that the problem isn't there and say, well, if we track calories, that could result in disordered eating, that is not a good argument to be made. And so, yeah, I get it. Some people could develop disordered eating from it. I do believe that the alternative of pretending it isn't really a problem is worse. And so this was an excellent video, and as soon as I saw it, I said, I have to make a video on this. Guy gives excellent point, learned so much of it, and so I really hope that you can watch this video and learn what he's explaining and give it a try for yourself, and if not, at least watch, learn, understand the tips on how to lose weight.
I've never been one to track every detail of my life, count calories, or anguish over my macronutrient composition. But as I've gotten older, it's not as easy to stay in shape as it used to be.
And so just like many of you, the guy never tracked calories, never had to. What's the point? Things are working. Just gonna do what I'm doing. But as he got older, the weight kept creeping up. He was doing some cardio, but yet the weight kept adding up. And so he decided to do something about it. Tracked everything he ate, every calorie, every macro for one whole month. And so he wanted to see if tracking calories would have a difference in his life. Would it make it any better? And so spoiler alert, right off the bat, it's not gonna make you wait. Yeah, it did, it helped. And so we're gonna watch a video and learn what exactly was so beneficial of counting calories. Why was it effective? Why did it work to help him lose weight?
A calorie measures energy. Just as gasoline creates the energy necessary to propel a car forward, so too do calories provide the energy needed for digestion, physical activity.
And so why track calories? Well, calories are how much energy is in the food that we're eating. And he makes a great comparison to a vehicle. When you're driving, you're burning more calories. And even when you're not driving, when the car engine's idling, it's still burning calories. And so gasoline in a car is kind of like your metabolism. And so some people can eat more calories than others and not gain weight. And so some bodies are better butter burners. They burn off more calories in the same way that some vehicles burn off more fuel. And so unlike a car, when you fill it up with gas, the tank gets full and you can't hold any more gas. This is not the case with humans. When our glycogen stores are full and we keep eating, that food, that energy gets turned into adipose tissue and stored as body fat. And so the only way to lose this weight is you need to be in a calorie deficit. And so he's tracking his calories to find out exactly how many calories does his body typically burn in a day in order to maintain his weight.
It will take me about 10 minutes to eat this delicious 1,000 calorie meal.
But if I wanted to burn 1,000 calories, I'd have to run at this pace for about an hour, hour and 15 minutes, and I have really bad ankles.
And so clearly, it's a lot easier to restrict calories than it is to burn them off. He quite literally says, I can eat 1,000 calories in about 6 minutes, but to burn off 1,000 calories, he has to sprint at full speed for over an hour.
There's a myth of good calories and bad calories. As nutrition coach Jordan Syed explains, that's the wrong way to look at it.
And so although it's true that some foods are healthier than others, At the end of the day, it's still calories in, calories out. And so if you're overweight, it's because you ate too many calories. And if you're underweight, you never ate enough. And so regardless of where the calories came from, whether we consider it's from healthy foods or junk foods, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The Rock knows is that what does matter is if you're eating in a surplus, you are in fact going to gain weight, regardless if the food is considered healthy. And so what he did is he tracked all the foods he ate on MyFitnessPal, but I want to have this disclaimer. The majority of people underreport calories. They think they're accurately tracking, but they're not. They might have typed in they had 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, but if they really tracked properly, it might have been 1.5 to even 4 tablespoons. And so it's very easy to make mistakes, and labels often lie. Oftentimes they can be off by 20%. And so just because you track calories and it says, for example, you're eating 2,000 calories a day, doesn't mean you're actually eating 2,000. You very well could be eating less, or you could be eating more. It's simply a guess, an estimation, but what calorie counting does do is it allows you to know roughly how many calories are in the foods that you're eating, and with that information, you can choose to make the decisions you're gonna make. And so in the end, you are left to make the decision. Are you gonna eat it, not eat it, eat this instead of that? You make the decisions based on the knowledge and information that you have. That is called mindful eating. It is not disordered eating to decide I'm going to eat this because I know the nutrition that this provides, and I'm not going to eat that because I think this is better choice than that. That is mindful eating and is being a smart consumer. It would be equivalent to going shopping and comparing the price tags on 2 similar sweaters you want and saying, well, I like this sweater more. It's the better color, fits better, feels better, and it's this price, and that one charging too much. I'd rather have this one. It's smart shopping, and so it's the same thing when you're doing this with eating. Compare the calories, the macros, the taste, decide which one is better fit for you at that moment.
While reading the nutrition label on my peanut butter, I almost dropped my spoon out of my mouth. There were 95 calories per spoonful. At times, I've snacked on 1 jar a week.
And you may have noticed I keep picking on peanut butter, and in this video he says, I almost dropped the spoon out of my mouth when I realized that every bite had 95 calories. He would often eat an entire jar a week. And so you might be thinking, well, I'm not eating that much, there's a couple spoonfuls of peanut butter. But in comparison, you're getting more calories from a couple spoons of peanut butter than you're getting from a large bag of popcorn. And so you can quickly see, if you know how many calories are in the foods that you're eating, that gives you the power, the knowledge to decide if you want to eat it.
We went out to get buy one, get one free ice cream sandwiches, and the size of these things were insane. The lady behind the counter estimated that the calories were around 1,200 each.
And so he decided to go get a snack, found out there was 1,200 calories in the ice cream sandwich he's going to eat. That's his snack, 1,200 calories. It's half the calories he needs an entire day. And so you can quickly say, is that smart? Should I really be eating 1,200 calories in a snack? If you want to do it, go ahead. But at least you know the calories in the foods that you're going to eat. With knowledge comes power. You have the power to decide. Should I eat the entire cookie? Perhaps I should eat half. Maybe half is enough. 600 calories from a snack is plenty. And so the point of tracking all these calories is to learn what are the calories and macros in the foods that I'm eating so that you can become a better consumer.
And this is when tracking my meals started to change my behavior. I didn't want to explode my entire count for the day and eat all that excess fat and sugar.
And so with the knowledge of knowing the calories and macros in the foods he's eating, he was been able to make better decisions. Maybe he wants more healthy fats in his diet, more fiber, more fruits and vegetables. You learn what are the calories in these foods, and you know how many calories you need in a day, and you know if you go over, you're going to gain weight, and so you can make decisions based on your individual goals.
And as I got better at it, the more I did it, the more I started to see not food, but it was like seeing matrix code. It was understanding the source and the fuel behind the food that I was eating.
And so not gonna lie, the guy got a little obsessive every time he saw food. Rather than seeing the food he was gonna eat, he saw the calories, how much protein was in it, the macros and so on. And his partner, who wanted nothing to do with the experiment, also noticed it was helping her. She was saying, I was able to better plan things, track things around the calories, the macros that I was looking for, and so it allowed them to make better choices. And to some people it'd say, this is bad, not good. But listen, guy's trying to be healthy. Noticed he was gaining weight, wanted to lose weight. This is something that gave him information, knowledge. It allows him to make better decisions and to be a better mindful eater. And so, for example, he was using 4 tablespoons of olive oil, 484 calories in his salad. Said, that's a lot. Maybe I don't need that much. Perhaps I'll use less. And so if you try this experiment yourself, you start looking into the calories, the macros, and the foods you're eating, try it for a while, not something you're gonna have to do for the rest of your life. It's a learning process. After a month, you see the foods that you're eating, You can say, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing exactly what I always did. Or perhaps you learn a few things. Just one thing you learn could make the difference. Discovering just how many calories are in the peanut butter or the olive oil that you're eating and changing that could be the only difference it takes for you to stop eating all those calories. Perhaps you look at the can of Coke or juice and you see you're having 150 calories. Perhaps you're having 3 or 4 a day. You're thinking, do I really need that 450 to 600 calories of sugar? Maybe I could have water or a non-nutritive sweetened beverage instead. Diet Coke, Diet Crystal Light, whatever. And so rather than thinking, I'm gonna do this experiment to find out what I can't have, think of it as learning what calories are in the foods that you're eating to discover what you want to have. Keyword want. What do you want to eat? And it is based on the information that you know. Perhaps you'll discover there's 600 calories in that bowl of ice cream and you think, I'd rather have a chocolate bar for 250 calories instead. Maybe you like it just as much. You gather the information, learn from it, and then apply it as you need. And so he does say one of the challenges was finding how many calories are in things that don't list out the calories. When you buy an apple, it doesn't say the calories in the apple. What you can do, and what I thought of was, I listed these calories in my cookbook. All of the fruits and vegetables that anyone would typically eat, the calories are listed exactly in detail. Also, how much protein are in these foods, fiber. And so if you get the freaking cookbook, it can help you to plan out your daily meals. It's not that you can't eat the higher calorie ones or the ones that have less protein. It's that, why wouldn't you want to know? Why not know? You can do what you want with this information, but at least you know. When you go to the mall shopping, do you just pick whatever looks the best, not even look at the price tag? Perhaps if you're rich. But what if you don't have money? You get to the counter, you discover, wow, that dress was $980. I was hoping it was $100. The other dress looked just as good, it was $115. Maybe I'll go back and buy the $115 dress that I like pretty much the same as the $980 dress. Same applies to food. Perhaps you have two foods you like about the same. They're equally good to you. One has less calories than the other, more protein, so on. If you're trying to lose weight, does it not make sense to choose the lower calorie item, the one that's just as good as the other one, but lower in calories? Really, the choice is yours. Knowledge is power. The more you know, the better choices you can make.
These days, I probably go out to eat 2 days a week, 3 days most, and those times are really difficult to track the exact calories that you're eating.
Another difficult time is when you're going out to eat. It doesn't always say how many calories are listed in the meal, and how do we know if they're actually right? They might be just guessing at it. So you just have to do your best. Guess approximately how many calories you think are in it. The more you track calories, the better you get at this. It becomes something like guessing body fat percentages. The more times you do it, the better you're going to get. So just try it for a while, and eventually you'll be able to come pretty close. It's not about being perfect. It's just about being as good as you can be. And so how many calories did this guy eat? Well, for context, he's 5'8", 154 pounds, and it did range. Some days were over 3,000, some under 2,000. But as a whole, on average, his daily average calorie intake, 2,146. Doesn't sound like a lot, but the guy's not a big guy. 5'8", 154 pounds, certainly not massive. And so his calorie needs are not that severe. Oftentimes people think guys need 3,000-4,000 calories a day. It's not the case. For the most part, most men, even those training serious in the gym, don't even need 3,000 calories a day. Personally, I'm racing bikes, training hard, have a lot of muscle. I'm only eating 3,500 calories a day. And so it makes perfect sense that a guy of this size would eat around 2,100 calories a day. His average macros, 178 grams of carbs, 127 grams of protein, 83 grams of fat. And if you've been paying attention to my channel, you'll know that for optimal muscle growth, perhaps 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is about what you need. Also, protein has a more satiating effect, less likely to trigger you to want to eat more. Also, the thermic effect of food is higher in protein, as in it takes more calories to convert protein to stored body fat than fat or carbs to stored body fat. And so if he's trying to lose weight, having a hard time, we would suggest or recommend that he increases his protein intake. 127 grams, certainly enough to build muscle, but perhaps could be even more optimal if he were to bump it up to 154 grams. And to combat the extra calories from having more protein, he could, in comparison, decrease the amount of fat grams that he's eating. Fat has 9 calories per gram in comparison to carbs that have 4. And so by reducing the calories that come from fat, he would have to reduce fewer macros than those if coming from carbs. However, you don't have to. If he doesn't want to lower his fat intake, he could simply lower his carb intake. In the end, it's calories in, calories out. That's what really matters. And so you don't need a specific set of macros. You can eat less carbs or less fat or less of each. It's okay. But when most people are losing body fat, it's important to keep in enough protein. In particular, when you're on a diet, some of the protein calories that you're used are being used for energy rather than for building muscle. And so in a calorie deficit, it's more important to have enough protein than if you're in a calorie surplus. People often think, oh, I'm bulking up, I want to put on a bunch of muscle, I'm going to eat way more protein. Don't need to. When you're in a calorie surplus, the protein that you're eating is used to build muscle. And so what you're looking to do when trying to bulk up is to increase carbs and or fats, not to increase more protein, unless, of course, you're already protein deficient.
Before the call, Jordan asked me about my goals. I told him that if anything, I wanted to maintain the same weight while gaining strength.
And so what are his goals? Well, he doesn't want to lose any weight. He wants to maintain the same weight, but get stronger. And so what would my advice be to him? Well, gain. Clearly, he's not trying to get bigger. He could add more protein to his diet, eat the same amount of calories, and slowly over time, he's going to build muscle if he's training hard in the gym. And with that added muscle, he can slowly lower his body fat percentage. And so although he's already healthy, he doesn't appear to be overweight or obese. He could perhaps drop his body fat by 2 or 3 percentage points and increase his muscle mass by 2 to 3%. So consider in a year, maybe 2 years, he could have 5 more pounds of muscle and 5 pounds less fat. Would weigh the exact same, but his body would look significantly different. He'd be stronger, leaner, perhaps a little bit healthier. He should be doing cardio, lifting weights, eating a healthy, balanced diet, trying to eat 3 to 5 meals a day, having snacks when needed, making sure that he has enough energy, sleeping well, has a good libido, no brain fog, and not starving himself to lose weight. And so, was it a pain in the ass to count calories? Yup, it was. It's not fun. You have to do a lot of work. Think of it, tracking every single thing you eat, it's not easy. But is losing weight easy? How bad do you want it? Are you willing to put in the work? The work being learning how many calories and the macros are in the foods that you're eating. If you do put in the work, you discover the calories in your eating, you can make better lifelong decisions. And so I would highly recommend those of you that want to learn to track and figure out the calories in the foods that you're eating. Also, if you want to make it real easy, get my freaking cookbook. Low calorie, high volume, high protein, delicious recipes to replace all the foods that you love. 95% of diets fail. Think of it. You're hungry, starving. You wish you could eat the foods that you want. You can. And so how likely do you follow a diet if you're always hungry? If you're craving foods? Try to find a diet that works for you. Highly recommend you get the cookbook. It's going to give you so many delicious alternatives to the foods that you're eating. And remember, this is for the big eaters. Those of you that are hungry. Why be hungry, starving all the time? You will learn so many tricks, foods that you can eat that are lower in calories. Also, you have the calories, macros for the fruits and vegetables, so many things to help you on your weight loss journey. Also, I have the Circle Diet book, my life's work explaining how to lose weight and keep it off for the rest of your life. Please consider getting these. Click the link in the description. Also, Harder Than Last Time supplements, those too can help. All natural supplements, you can get those by clicking the link in the description. Also, if you need a free training program, that's right, it's free. No cost to you. Just become a newsletter subscriber. Again, click the link in the description. It'll give you close to a 20-page free training program explaining exactly how I train. Perfectly designed program to help you in the gym. Get the muscle that you need. Become a better butter burner. Lose weight once and for all. Keep the weight off for the rest of your life. What do you have to lose? Click the link in the description. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm. Hope this video helped. Check out one of these two boobs. Those can help as well. And until next time, I am out.